My name is Michael Brito, and I'm from the United States, and I work for the W2O Group, which is an integrated marketing communications company. And my role is really to help large brands and small brands figure out how to use social media to connect with customers, to really develop a content strategy that really focuses on changing consumer behavior, and also helping scale community management and helping larger brands grow into different countries, into different regions, and also in different languages. I don't know too much about Colombia, but from what I do know since I've been here the last couple of days, there's a high usage of Twitter. There's a lot of people who are using Twitter and having conversations. I've met several people here at the conference who work for agencies, who work for media companies, who work for small companies, and social media is top of mind for them, and they're really trying to figure out how to improve it. So I think the opportunity is there. I think that the Colombians in general understand why social media is important. It's just a matter of figuring out how to define it and how to scale it so that they can be more efficient within their companies. There are a lot of people who don't believe in social media, and from my perspective, it'll take time for them to become believers. Usually if you just go to Twitter and do a search for a company or a politician or a small business, you're going to see conversations about that topic. And that is, for me, that is good enough evidence if I'm a business owner to realize there are people talking about my company on Twitter, there are people talking about my company on YouTube or Instagram or blogs. I should join the conversation, I should have a voice. And usually when you can come with some data, whether it be qualitative data or quantitative data, they'll make a decision to say, I agree, I believe that I need to make an investment or hire an agency or hire some employees to really focus in on building my community. So small companies it's actually more easier to develop a cohesive content strategy and social media strategy in smaller companies, because with smaller companies there's less hierarchy, there's less decision making, there's less of a need to get consensus from other people. So with smaller companies, it's easier to define your content, your strategy, what's the story that you want to tell, and then figure out how do we tell that story in Facebook, and how do we tell that story in Twitter, and how do we tell that story through blogs. So it's actually much easier. I think the key point for small business especially is before they even think about creating a Twitter account or blogs or Facebook, first defining their narrative. Defining what is their story, what do they want to be known for, how do they want the community and the media and even their competitors to talk about them. And then from there they can determine, well, maybe Twitter's not the right strategy for us, or maybe we'll focus more on Facebook, or maybe we'll create a blog. And so getting the what, which is the kind of the story or the narrative, is probably the most important for small business. So I think when we're thinking about the relationship between an agency and their clients, in the US we have the same struggles. It's really difficult to deliver collaborative and integration between their internal teams. Because I work for an agency and I don't work there, I almost feel like an outsider sometimes. Yeah. It's the same thing in the US. One of the things is that we typically do is we try to come to the client with a solution, or an idea, or an opportunity, and we say, we believe that you need stronger integration with this brand, or we believe that you need stronger integration with customer service, or with research and development, and actually coming to the client with an actual plan that then they can say, okay, so this is how it would work, this is how we would create a connected or integrated community marketing or content strategy, and otherwise it's just a discussion, and if there's nothing written or documented, it'll never happen. It's the same thing with companies in the US. The difference I think in the US is I think they realize that especially in large companies, they realize that they need to integrate. And they're trying to integrate with their Latin American teams. They're trying to integrate with their Asian Pacific teams. They're trying to integrate with EMEA and Europe teams. The problem is the teams there are decentralized. Yeah. So there's not a lot of communication. There's not a lot of collaboration. So helping them work through that by providing models, by providing a plan or a strategy to help them think internally first, how can we align everyone internally? How can we build a center of excellence? So because we need to do that in order to create a better external customer experience.
Yes.